As many of you know, in July and August I was on vacation, and I did manage to pick up a few CDs. I wasn't able to make a video until recently, so let's see on the flip side, and I'll tell you what I picked up back in August. Hello everyone, Daryl the Northern Vinyl Guy coming at you with a recent vinyl finds video. I was going to do this a few weeks back. I just ran short on time. But while I was on my vacation, did 3 weeks of provincial parking and things like that. Did show some pictures of some camping a few videos back. But these are some of the albums that I got. In fact, these are all the albums I got while I was out. So I'm going to kind of tell you where I shopped and yeah, how things went. Let me know down in the comments below whether you like these albums, if you've heard of them. If you are a first-time viewer to my channel, please click that subscribe button. If you enjoy my content, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Give me that thumbs up. And of course, as always, if you are a returning viewer, always appreciate that support. And I'm on my way to close to 300 subscribers. I think I got about 25 more to go, so that's great. Never thought I'd be here at this point. So yeah, shout me out to some of your friends and all that kind of thing. And so here we go. What did I pick up while I was on my vacay? Well, first, I'm going to kind of go in reverse order of my trip. So basically, the last place that I had stopped was in Chatham, Ontario. I stopped at a Value Village. I picked up 4 records while I was there, but I only kept 3. I had to get rid of one of them because, as it turned out, it was a K-Tel record, which had some really great 80s tracks on it. But I forgot to check it. One of the things I didn't do was check it. I usually check all of the records to see if all of the components are in there and check the condition and all that kind of thing. But it was missing. It was a 2-record set. I misread the record, so it was missing one of the 2 albums that was inside of it, so I ended up getting rid of it. It was $1, unfortunately. But the 3 that I did keep, so this is Valdy, a Canadian folk singer, mainly of the 1970s, early 80s. This one here, I forget the year on this one. It's not telling me on here. But 1970s, this one's called Countryman. And pretty much known for the hit single Rock and Roll Song, but other hits include the title track Countryman, Place at the Table, A Good Song, Hello Mr. Record Man, See How the Years Have Gone By, and this one's interesting. Going Down Slow was written by Bruce Cockburn, another Canadian folk singer. A great song. So yeah, this is Valdy's Countryman. Very cool cover with the extension of his beard into a tree. So that was only a couple of bucks at Value Village. I picked up Johnny Horton's Greatest Hits. I had thought that I had Johnny Horton in my collection, but I did not. I had checked it while I was there on my Discogs. And this has everything that one would need. So I'm probably not going to dig deeper into Johnny Horton. But this has Battle of New Orleans, Sink the Bismarck, North to Alaska, etc., etc. So yeah, that's wonderful to add. And that is on the Two-Eyed Columbia label. Up next, this one is still in shrink, but it was open. This is more of a folk kind of country. Johnny Rodriguez, All I Ever Meant to Do Was Sing, and it features Riding My Thumb to Mexico, Release Me, That's the Way Love Goes, All I Ever Meant to Do Was Love You, I Really Don't Want to Know, and more. So folk country kind of music there. Still in shrink. All right, now prior to that, I was in a place called Grand Bend. It's more of a touristy area. My brother has a shop that's there. And so I went to visit him, and we went to the Grand Bend Market, flea market, which is held typically on Sundays. And I came across 3 different vendors while I was there. And so these are some of the things that I picked up. So this one here is a greatest hits album by an 80s band called Yellow. Most known for their song Oh Yeah, which is featured in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, of course. So this one here, I mean, the cover is a little bit bent, out of shape, but gatefold. But the vinyl itself is in really good shape. Yellow's 1980 to 1985, and that is on Vertigo label. But a compilation, really good stuff there. All right, and then I was digging in some, $3 bins and $10 bins and things of that nature. And so what did I come across in those $3 bins and stuff like that? Well, I've got some Autobahn, Kraftwerk's Autobahn. So kind of that krautrock, techno-ish stuff from the 1970s. Electronic, I guess you would call it, maybe. Very different stuff. But Autobahn, very cool song. And while I was digging through, the guy that was running the stall, he was asking me what I was looking for, and I asked him if he had any Asabisa, which is an African band that my dad used to listen to when I was a kid. He said no, he didn't have any Asabisa, but he said if you're into, that kind of music, that African style and stuff, but a more modern 1980s stuff, why don't you check out Jaluka, and this is the Scatterlings album, and he wasn't wrong. This is pretty good stuff. Think, Paul Simon, She's Got Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes or on the Soles of Her Feet kind of thing. Kind of reminds me of that feel, but definitely a little more, I don't know, definitely a little more African tone to it. And so I ended up getting the Scatterlings album along with the, the Stand Your Ground. Now this one here, it's definitely, the cover is falling apart there, but once again, the record's in good condition. So this one has Kilimanjaro, Look Into the Mirror, December, African Rain, Fever, and more. Like I said, if you're into kind of world culture, beat music, this is kind of a go-to. Now, some reason I don't have Steve Miller. Got Steve Miller's Greatest Hits. He was a little worried he sold it to me for a little cheaper. There are some definite scuff marks that are on side 2, which is the side that has, the Joker and Fly Like an Eagle and stuff like that, Jet Airliner. But this is a Greatest Hits comp, 1974, 1978. Brian at Embryonic Robot, I know that you like this band from Down Under, and that's XTC. He actually threw this in as part of the deal. I didn't actually pay for this, and this is the 12-inch single of Senses Working Overtime, which also includes Blame the Weather, Egyptian Solution, Homo Safari Series number 3. That's quite the name of a song, but this is the 12-inch single for Senses Working Overtime XTC. Oddly enough, I actually do not have a full album by them. I do have a 45 and I do have a 12-inch, but I do not have any albums by XTC. And then, of course, in the, you're looking at some 3 for $10 deals. This is, of course, Player, 1970s. This is the one that has Baby Come Back on it. Back is a little bit stained, but once again, still really good condition. Gotta love that. I don't necessarily want to call it yacht rock music, but some people might classify it as yacht rock. Speaking of yacht rock-ish, Rupert Holmes and what's the name of this? Partners in Crime, Escape the Pina Colada song, of course, is on here. A great song. And then on side 2 is his other, I guess you would call it, hit, which is the song Him. I haven't listened to this one yet. My buddy Joe at On a Vinyl, I know that he had showed this on one of our Wednesday night shows on Northern Revolution's, Rob from Northern Revolution's channel, and he said that basically it's Escape the Pina Colada song and Him, and the rest of it is terrible. But I haven't listened to the whole album yet, so one of these days I will definitely do it, but I got it just for Escape the Pina Colada song. Now this one here I wasn't expecting to see at all. I remember listening to this on a compilation that my dad had on CD. They did a remake of Montego Bay in the 1980s. This is from, I'd like to say 1985 or 86. I could be wrong here. Ooh, my eyes are not doing me any justice. 1980... I better take it out of the plastic here. 1986. So Amazulu, this is on Island Records, but Amazulu and their self-titled album. Very neat. You don't see that one in the VC very often. And then I was searching just the regular $5 and $10 bins. And many of you know that I'm a Steve Winwood fan. I do not have the Arc of a Diver album. Now I do. It's the one that has Well You See a Chance on it, which is a great song. Love Steve Winwood. One of these days I'm going to have to get some albums by Traffic, because I really like Traffic as well. Going to have to start looking into that. But Arc of a Diver, fantastic album by Steve Winwood. Now this is the part that kind of bums me out the most. So all of these that I got were from the same vendor. And I saw 2 albums by this band. Both are OGs. I only picked up one, and I'm a little disappointed that I didn't grab the other one. And that's the band Ministry. And this is a 12-inch single as well. And this is the Ministry Halloween remix, and then Nature of Outtakes on side B. Now the reason that I'm bummed out about this is this one here is in great shape, and I'm glad that I picked it up. But he also had an OG of Ministry's Twitch album for $20, and the reason it was on sale for $20 instead of $60, $70, $80 is because the cover was a little out of shape, and I was hoeing and humming on it, and I'm like, didn't want to spend $20, and I am, after talking to some people, I'm kind of regretting my decision not to pick that one up for $20, because it is a good album, back when they were doing their synth pop stuff instead of industrial. All right, then I went to 2 separate vendors after that in the Grand Bend market. One of them I bought Bruce Coburn's Big Circumstance, which is a great album. This one has If a Tree Falls, which is one of my favorite Bruce Coburn songs. So Shipwrecked at the Stable Door, Gospel of Bondage, The Gift. These are all great tracks. Then I went to another one, like I said, and I got some country music. A little bit of Eddie Rabbitt. Those of you that are familiar with Eddie Rabbitt will probably know this one. This is Horizon. And of course, this is the not for sale, promotional copy back in the day. But this has I Love a Rainy Night and Driving My Life Away, which are great tracks. And unfortunately, he died at a relatively early age. I think he was in his 50s, maybe. Cut too short. Eddie Rabbitt, country music, 1980, I think that one is. And then, where did I go to? What did I do? Hold on here. Oh, sorry. There was actually a couple more that I got while I was there at that market. Belinda Carlisle's Heaven on Earth. Can't go wrong with this one. Heaven is a Place on Earth. Circle in the Sand. I Get Weak. Great tracks. This is the cover. I showed you the back of it. I don't know why I got a little mixed up there while I was doing this, but I did pick that up at the market in Grand Bend, as well as Ambrosia. And this is the one that has biggest part of me on it. 1970s. Once again, if we want to talk about Player and those types of bands, Rupert Holmes, this is kind of in that that kind of zone, almost yacht rockish, if not yacht rockish. Ambrosia. And then I was at a place in Goderich. I bought 4 albums while I was there. In one of the circumstances, I was a little, I don't know how to explain it, a little perturbed. You know, when you go in and you're like, hey, you find an album that you kind of know isn't worth what they're trying to sell it for, and then you grab 4 or 5 albums, and then they're not willing to kind of throw that in for what it's worth. I was like, hey, instead of selling this for like $5 or $6, this is a $1 or $2 album. They wouldn't do it. I ended up buying these anyway, but it kind of threw a sour taste in my mouth. One hit wonder. Top 40. They had one song, Flash and the Pan. What was the name of that the track that they had? Man in the Middle, I think it was. I think it was Man in the Middle. Not 100% sure. But anyway, Flash in the Pan, very different 1980s. Kind of an eclectic thing. Not everybody likes this, but very unique. Flash in the Pan. This one here, was glad to get this one. This is Aerosmith Rocks. This was in a 3 for $10 bin because it has apparently some background noise. So really I ended up paying about $3.33 for this album. Of course, this is the one that has Back in the Saddle from 1976. Aerosmith's Rocks. And then this one here is for you, Richard at Richard's Vinyl Tap House. These last two are these two here. Reason being is I know that you like OMD, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, as does Brian from Embryonic Robot. But this album here actually has my favorite OMD song on it, which is Forever Live and Die. Great album. I really want to get more of their stuff because I really do like OMD. 1980 stuff. And then this one here, Soft Cells, Non-Stop Erotic Cabaret. Now this one here, a little bit controversial, but this has Tainted Love on it. But I think some of the songs, and of course if you look at the back of this, the Peep Show and the sex literature and all that kind of stuff, this was a little controversial, definitely in the 1980s, but some great synthy, kind of one-hit wonder stuff, but love Soft Cell. And then on my return, I stopped at a mall, so I'm coming full force here. So the day before I got back on the train, stopped through North Bay, was in the mall in North Bay, stopped at Sunrise Records, and many of you know that one of my favorite bands, if not my favorite band of all time, is Primus, and I did not yet have their Brown album, so I grabbed it. Was on for a decent price. A little bit of a gatefold here. This one was met with mixed acclaim. I think this is 1996, 97. Met with mixed acclaim. I remember I bought it on CD when I was in high school. Fisticuffs and Shake Hands with Beef were the big ones that were on here. Yeah, it wasn't the most successful of the Primus albums. Now the one after this is Antipop, and that one was a little more successful, but if I ever get to grab a hold of one, I will, because they're going for a pretty penny. So yeah, those are the albums that I picked up while I was on my vacation. Once again, while I was at the market, while I was at a shop in Goderich, while I was at Value Village in Chatham, while I was at the mall in North Bay. So let me know, what did you think of these picks that I got in my collection? Did I do well? Like I said, most of these I bought in 3 for $10 bins. The ones that I bought at Value Village were $2 a piece, and then there was a few that were $5 and $10. I didn't spend, other than my Primus album, I didn't spend any more than $10 on a single album. So, did I get a good deal? Let me know what you think. Once again, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers, everyone.